It's Erev Shabbos. We're getting close to the very end of the year, the last Shabbos of the year, Parshas Nitzavim-Vayelech. But it also happens to be the anniversary of 9/11. And it struck me that we're really a generation removed from that terrible day. In the years following 9/11, people would reminisce and say, where were you when you first heard the news? What were you doing? I know that we have some Columbus viewers on this video, so I'll make it nostalgic. I was jogging on Columbia and turning onto Broad Street. I got home and Aviva said to me, she got a call from someone in the shul, you have to turn on the news, see what's happening. We have a new generation that never experienced 9/11. If you remember back on that fateful day, I remember the mayor of the city saying, if you have a flag, put out a flag. If you don't own a flag, make a flag, show your patriotism. 19 years later, to some, the flag, it's hard to believe, but they look at it as a symbol of something else, not the land of the free and the home of the brave, and they don't respect it. A lot has changed, and the world has evolved since 9/11. One thing we knew, that the world would not be the same once we recovered from those attacks. And that's true. There were more terrorist attacks and security and our vigilance. It's a whole different level. It's as if it was part of another world prior to 9/11. Now we're dealing with another major event, a pandemic, and who knows what the world will look like once we recover. We'll get back to normal, but is it getting back or is it a different type of normal? We're optimistic. Be that as it may, we can go on and on about how the world changes. But as we are about to enter a new year, and every time we're at this point in the calendar, we get anxious. What is the new year going to bring us? If we're coming off of a good year and a rhythm of positivity, so then we tend to be more optimistic. I'm not sure that's how we're feeling right now. So with all of the change, reminiscing about another dark chapter, realizing that we have a lot of questions ahead of us, what can we take with us into the last Shabbos of the year, the last week of the year? 1 week from tonight is Rosh Hashanah. And as we've been saying all through the pandemic, we're optimists, we are believers, and even if we have moments of weakness or doubt, but we're able to regroup. So consider this. A lot has changed, and it will continue to change. But I'll tell you something that hasn't changed. It hasn't changed since the day it was received by the Jewish people. The Torah hasn't changed. When Moshe Rabbeinu tells us in this week's Parsha, Ki ha-mitzvah hazos, this mitzvah, it's not far removed from you, it's accessible to you, it's not on the other side of the ocean, it's not in the heavens, that it's available, whether it's referring to the Torah, as Rashi understands, or it's referring to tshuva, that opportunity is still there. We're going to observe Rosh Hashanah, celebrate the Yontif of Rosh Hashanah. We're going to have the davening. If we're in a tent, if we have portable air conditioners, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same davening, the same tunes. If anything, we're going to feel maybe even that it's a more nobler davening, that we're accepting upon ourselves the challenge, and that we're not giving up. And even though we can't be inside the shul and we can't be comfortable and we don't have our exact seats and it's not the way it usually is, so what? Because the mitzvah of tshuva, the Torah, the observance, the simcha of Yontif, looking forward to Tishrei, that doesn't change. And with that faith and that conviction that Hashem, who brought this, and when I say Hashem brought it, we don't know why, but we're not going to take it for granted that it's just an accident or a random act. We don't believe in randomness. The same way that it just appeared and it came out of nowhere, Hashem can take it away with a snap, like that. And we have to have the optimism that in this coming year, Haba Aleinu L'Tova, because we have the Torah, because we have tshuva, because we have the opportunity to daven, wherever we may be, that's going to make the difference. And that's the special faith that we have, we inherited from our avos and our imahos. And we've been through a lot. We're not going to minimize it, but that doesn't mean that we're not stronger because of it, and it doesn't mean that we haven't grown from the experience. I've mentioned over the course of these videos that it was important, and it still remains really the priority, to take care of each other. That when we have that forbearance and that tolerance and that chesed, those gestures, that we're not just thinking about what's going to be with me or my family, but we think about others. Everything in Rosh Hashanah is rooted, and the Yemei Hadin for that matter, the days of judgment, in joining with the tzibur and worrying about someone else. Chazal say if we worry and we daven for someone else and we need that very same thing, Hashem answers us first, because really we're davening for the same unit, for the same entity. So we have to take this chizuk with us into, as we said, the last Shabbos of the year. Things will get better. It will be a better year. Be'ezras Hashem. Hashem will look at our davening, our perseverance, that we're not giving up, and we'll be able to brave the elements, whatever it may be. And with that, Hashem should bring us all of the brachos that are in the Torah as we draw close to the year 5780. The new year will be one, God willing, a bracha, hatzlacha, parnasa tova, and most importantly, a year of geula, of Yeshua. Have a wonderful Shabbos.